Okay. Welcome back to the Broskies. As always, I'm Elijah Phillips.
And I'm Alex Fox.
Now, couch gaming with the boys. Now, that is a cornerstone, a staple, if you will, of the average growing up, at least for the guy audience. Sometimes girls, you never know. But me and Alex, either it be far away or close together, always enjoy a nice couch co-op gaming.
And let's just start off with how Elijah, like the first few times where you and I would actually play in person together. Like when we used to play all those fighting games, like Mortal Kombat. I
Mortal
think that was
Kombat.
a very common one we would do together.
Mortal Kombat X specifically, I remember because you would always get pissed off about me. You would always get pissed off because I would always use Kotal Khan, who has the healing ability with the sun.
Nah. You used a couple characters who would heal.
I think Predator could also heal in that game, and then
Predator was definitely one of those fuckers.
and then there's another character who could also heal, but I don't
I don't
remember.
I don't remember who it was.
I don't remember who it was at the moment because it's been a minute since I've played Mortal Kombat X, but I do know that anytime I pick a character who can heal in a fighting game, you always get pissed off because because you're not even realizing you don't even realize that I do heal myself up until you're just sitting there thinking, oh, what the hell is he doing? And then you look at the top of the screen and like half my health is regained.
That's like, you're already better than me at fighting games as it is.
Yeah.
So like to me, it's like when a boss in a video game heals themselves. You know what I mean?
That's what I kind of wanted to give the illusion of fighting a video game boss.
God. I remember a few times when we would play Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah. I think Marvel vs. Capcom was pretty evenly split between the two of us.
I think we never played it that often, but there is this one friend I had back in Georgia. You might remember him. Flaming Demon was his nickname.
Of course,
Him.
yes.
Yeah. There was a reason behind that. There was a podcast that you and I did where I brought up how I helped him be a criminal for a day. Because
I don't think you ever brought that up in one of our previous episodes.
No? Well, real quick, I'm pretty sure I did. But like, very short recap is we had like some sort of parade or event going on at the school, and essentially he wasn't locked out of the building, but like he wasn't in the area where we were supposed to be or at that event, so he was hiding out at one of our softball fields, and one of his friends and I, because this was before him and I ever became friends, we kind of just knew each other. We were like, oh shit, he's outside. So I was like, hey, I'll go check on him. So I sneaked outside. Somehow I was never caught, even with our school having cameras. And I went out there. I was like, hey, dude, you okay? And he's like, yeah, thanks for checking in on me. I was like, hey, you need anything? And I remember I had to get him his hoodie, which was in our locker rooms, which I was surprised was unlocked. Usually when it comes to locker rooms, or at least, never mind, in my new school, it became a thing with locker rooms being locked. But that's because kids would smoke weed and have sex in them. So.
Oh shit, Alex! You snuck out of a pep rally. I'm calling the cops, dude.
No, it wasn't a pep rally. I think it was some sort of parade.
Some sort of parade.
I was gonna say no, because every other student who wasn't going was in the gym. That's how I know it wasn't a pep rally.
This is at our middle school, right?
No. This was the first high school that you and I went to, the one that I moved out of, and you stayed.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's okay. I got it.
Anyway, but yeah, him and I, we used to play Marvel vs. Capcom 3 all the time. And those were some pretty good memories with us.
So you do have some experience with the game. It's just you haven't played in a while.
No, it was 2018 last time I played. Not counting the times you and I played, which were like early 2019.
Yeah, because I'm not really familiar with the game only because of
it was the one with the Infinity Stones.
Oh, that's Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 does not have the Infinity Stones, but it does have the X-Men characters in it.
Right. Yeah. No, I was thinking 3, but I think that's because that's the one that you and I played.
Yeah, you and I played 3 just because it has more characters.
Right. Yeah, but no, him and I, we would play Infinite all the time. But I think another game that you and I played together a lot, or at least it feels like a lot, because sometimes we would play our own thing at the same time, were Lego games.
Oh yeah. Whether it be, you know what's funny is that we talk about it a lot, and yet I don't think we've ever played. Never sat down and played the first Lego Marvel superheroes together.
No, we played Lego Marvel 2, and that's where we came up with Uneventful Chairs.
Essentially, in that in that game, of course, there's the Wild West characters, and
Right.
I just thought it was a fun idea to come up with. I mean, because
You
Old
wanted
West,
to do something where it's like it sounded like the Avengers, but like with a Western accent.
Uneventful chairs, yeah.
And I remember that same night.
I
We
think you
were
had said something
talking.
like you got to bring all your stuff from there to over
Well,
there.
we were talking about how if I wanted to get my books published, you were saying like how hard that would be in terms of getting information. Oh no, it was an encyclopedia. Encyclopedia we wanted to make.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you're saying like, but dude, it would be so hard to make an encyclopedia. And I was like, no, it wouldn't. All I'd have to do is get all the stuff from over there, and
And I
then
had
that's just become a thing between us for a while. And that was like 4 years ago. Too.
That was 4 years ago, and I'm honestly surprised that that little inside joke between us had even like lasted that long. But it's kind of funny because every time we say over there, we have to say it with the voice.
All the time.
Otherwise, it just doesn't feel right.
It really doesn't. But like that just reminds me of like any inside joke we have together. Like I remember there's just one thing I came up with because I was being weird. It was Toys the Moist.
Toys the Moist, yeah. You because you had said that drinking water was old, boring, and overused. And you know what's funny is that we actually published the phrase "Toys the Moist" to Urban Dictionary.
We did. I forgot about that.
We did, and we also did Stud Crisis too for Urban Dictionary.
Which Stud Crisis is something that we created
specifically for Lego games.
Right, and I remember like it was when you're trying to do something in a Lego game, and it's like you buy something with all the studs that you earned, but it's like now you have like no studs, and it's like fuck, now I got to do this all over again. And which is like a repeated motion until you can finally get stabilized.
Which is actually kind of funny because on the Urban Dictionary, if you're on Stud Crisis, like in the middle of the definition, it will underline stud, and so I clicked on it out of curiosity, and it had led me to a different definition where it's just like a hot, attractive, middle-aged man. I'm like, that's not what a stud is. You ever play a Lego game?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, when people say Stud Crisis, they're probably referring to that kind of stud instead of our stud.
Speaking of Lego games, do you remember when we did the thing in Lego Avengers?
Yes, very specific. The thing. Are you talking about the speed glitch?
The speed glitch. And then I would charge up the hammer, the Thor's hammer, because if you charge up Thor's hammer and if it hits you, that's an instant.
It's a one-hit kill.
It's a one-hit kill. So I would throw it at you, and the speed glitch would make you zoom across the map. And I always remember, I think you would zoom past me.
So there's a specific part of the map where it was just like the not the monorail, the L train.
Yeah.
But it was also subway, and like that was kind of like the easiest course for us to run. And I remember there was
because it goes all around the map.
Right. And I remember there was one time I freaked out because I saw the hammer. So my dumbass ran off the tracks and through the city. And the hammer got me so fast.
It would always be funny. Like I would just stand in one place and watch your split screen just to see like how you did all of it. And I would always see you pass me, but every time you pass me, like a second later, I could just see the hammer following you.
Oh man, I think it was like after I passed you at least once, that's when the hammer would get me. I don't think I ever got past you twice.
No, but if we were to like maximize the speed glitch, although
we did try to maximize the speed glitch, it It literally brought you. It turned off the Xbox. I remember that. It turned off your Xbox.
Oh yeah, it. I think it turned it off.
It froze the screen and then it turned off the Xbox,
which is fucking ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. But like it's a shame that like we live in different states now because like there's not many games that we could. Well, at least back then, there wasn't many games we could play because I only had a Switch for a long period of time.
We did play a shit ton of Minecraft.
But we haven't played Minecraft in a while, but I definitely miss some of the memories with Minecraft. Like that one time where you made this goddamn T.n.T. arrow using command blocks.
Okay, so, but yeah, the initial idea of it, though, was to only shoot one T.n.T. block at a surface to blow it up. But
and I remember I made this special bunker, and in the bunker, there was a spot that was covered by obsidian. T.n.T. does not blow up obsidian.
But here's what but specifically what I did was I was outside of your bunker, outside away from your house, and I was aiming it at the ocean for fear of me actually accidentally hitting your house, because the way I programmed it, it would drop an active T.n.T. block as it was traveling. So like every block space it would travel, it would drop a T.n.T. block. So it would just drop a freaking double rainbow of fucking T.n.T. blocks. And Alex,
another thing to consider is that the obsidian still was supposed to stop that. But what happened is that you hit a close ranged object and then the T.n.T. glitched through the walls.
No, Alex, I think you're remembering this wrong. So I stayed away from the house specifically because I didn't want to fuck with your builds. But you're like, why don't you just test it in the bunker? But you had teleported me. You had teleported me to inside of that room as I was shooting another one.
Oh, see, you didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, you had teleported me into the room as I was actively shooting one. So by then it was already too late. So once I got in the room, one blew up and we were just like, oh, thank God. It's just one blew up. But it wasn't just one. It fucking glitched, and there was just like glowing white boxes, and it blew up half of the fucking bunker.
Yeah, but I mean, we rebuilt the bunker. And okay, to be honest, it was actually a good thing that happened because two things came out of that. For one, we got to improve the bunker, and I managed to add on to the bunker, and all that empty space that was blown up in the mountain really helped when I was trying to rebuild the bunker.
Yeah. And then,
but honestly, I love that bunker because that kind of is like that used to be like my first pride and joy in Minecraft.
Yeah, for me, it was the police station, which I built from Resident Evil 2, oh man.
When it comes to like T.n.T., I also think about this one time with other things that went boom. I remember you programmed we were trying to make the Infinity Stones, and you programmed a snowball to act like the Power Stone, and you made giant ass like I wouldn't say craters.
They're not craters, but they're like if
it was like a 3x3 hole, or no?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was a lot. It was like a 9x9 hole that went straight to the bottom of the world.
It went through the bedrock.
Which.
No, sorry.
I mean, when it comes to
it went through it. No, well, the thing is, I think the game updated, so instead of there being a big ass hole that like drops beneath the world, there's like deep slate there now, because deep slate's a thing now.
No, because you can still go under the world. It's just now you don't fall through the world.
Yeah. And I made a couple of those holes, I think, but I did make one really close to your fucking house too.
Yeah, I remember I got terrified because the thing is, like, I don't know if you remember, but the house is connected to the bunker. Like, there's several points in the bunker where you can go into the house. Specifically, like the first entrance. I remember I made a man cave, and I showed you it, or I showed you like this basement because that's what it started off.
It was a basement, and it was an empty ass room until I like decorated it, and it looked good.
It was an empty ass room because I just finished making the room, and I remember like I wanted your help trying to actually like put things into this room. But I mean, it still looks great. I mean, I haven't been on Minecraft or my Switch in a long time.
Well, yeah, ever since you bought your Xbox, it was we played those games on Xbox, because I told you, I was like, when you get an Xbox, you can just use my account and you'll have a shit ton of games right off the bat.
Which I've just never played Minecraft on Xbox yet. I haven't gotten Minecraft.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favorite builds I've ever did is a giant tower that represents a superhero team in our books that we made.
The tower, the freaking the elemental tower.
Yes, because like the idea originally, I was trying to make the Avengers Tower, but when I made the outside of it, because that's what I started off as, I made the outside, and then I started from the top and worked my way down. And when you saw the outside, you said it looked exactly like an old drawing of the Elementals Tower.
Yeah, and you know, and what's funny is that you in that old drawing you had drawn a blue line down the tower representing windows, and so I had thought that that was just a cosmetic thing. So I had did that blue line outside of the tower, but you said it looked great, so you just left it there, which I really appreciate. And
it's still there too.
I still appreciate that you put, and besides, it makes it look more like the original drawing.
Yeah, and thing is, like, I wasn't even trying to make it look like the drawing. I was just trying to make an Avengers Tower. But then, come to think about it, when I made that drawing, I think I was also trying to make something that looked like Avengers Tower, but at the same time was different.
And then you had asked me, like, I think midway through making it, to make banners representing each one of the members, and so I did that, and you really appreciated my doing that.
Oh yeah, I really appreciated that because I used those all throughout the tower too.
I think you also used some of those somewhere else too. I forgot where though.
I don't recall where.
Because your map could literally be really, really small if all of your builds weren't spread out over like a like a 8x8 like map grid.
12x12.
12x12 map like grid. 12 like almost like what is it? 144 block space or like maps or something like that.
Yeah, I have 144 maps in my world, which honestly that caused a lot of issues because Minecraft isn't really meant to have a lot of space being taken up like within game.
And you started building the helicarrier.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. Well, like another issue is that the tutorial that I was going over is that he was really complicated with a lot of things.
Fucking but, like, copy it to the other side.
Yeah, he would do one side, and then he'd be like, "Okay, just copy this to the other side." And I'm like, "Screw you, man!"
But the thing is, copy it to the other side. What he really means is mirror it.
Because he was doing this on computer, so he had world edit. And I remember at one point we did discover structure block. Because I remember we were going off of one of the worlds that you downloaded onto your Xbox.
I had downloaded the MCU world, and I was showing you. I was like, "Hey, Alex, I need some of your help. Maybe you and I can build the locations from the MCU."
And then I remember I was.
You're like, "Do you know what this is?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know what this is." You're like, "This is structure blocks. This is on PC."
Normally it's on PC. I think there was like a recent update where they brought it on to console because I've never seen those on console before that day.
Yeah, neither have I. And
I mean, maybe they have been on console because just like command blocks, in order to get them, you have to do the whole code thing.
Yeah.
But it's like that's not something that people really talked about.
And so we found structure blocks, and immediately we started using them everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
And when I mean everywhere, I think the first like big thing we did with it, like I remember saying like, building cities with this, it just got a whole lot easier.
We started making filler buildings for your city world.
My city world, I think.
Actually, you know what? No, the first thing we did is you tried to take what I had of the helicarrier so far, and you put that in the nether. But like you took what I had, copied that, and put it on the ass end of each other.
No, so I remember the first thing I did. You made the power squad like facility, like the big facility where all the vehicles are. I had copied a huge chunk of it, went to a random spot which just so happened to be within the parameters of your map, dug a hole straight down, and just put it there.
I think it's because you were experimenting to see what happened if you tried to spawn something that big underground.
And really, really what it did was it created the bounding box for it, and it just cleared out all the blocks while placing the object there. And,
But I mean, that was a really cool thing you did, though. So
yeah, when I showed it to you, you're like, this looks really cool. And so we just made an underground version of that, like it was like far in the future or something like that. Like that was the idea.
Like an apocalyptic future version, yeah.
And
like in the stories that comes from, essentially what happens is that a character takes the facility during an attack
and buries it underground, essentially.
At least buries what he can. Buries what he can bury underground.
Which is why there's only half of it there.
Right. No, I think it's a little more than half, but like the main parts were like the garage and where some of the rooms were. Like those were what was saved.
Yeah, and with the the Marauder from the Bad Batch.
That was kind of like what we used as like the Power Squad's main ship. And I remember I made a destroyed version of it underground.
But what you did is you took your, because I remember I helped you build the like a second wings, yeah. No, I helped you build you built one of the wings, but you had me build a second Marauder up in the sky, and I did this without structure blocks, and I had made almost an exact copy up in the sky.
Because we had the landed version and then we had the in-flight version. Because with the Marauder and the Bad Batch, the wings fold down like an Imperial shuttle.
Yeah, and you wanted me to and what's funny is that realistically, you could have just went into my Star Wars world, took several pictures of the Imperial shuttle that was in the map.
I mean, I could have, but the Marauder is very different. The only thing that has in common are the wings.
Yeah, okay. But there is an Imperial shuttle in the Star Wars world if you do want to make one of those eventually.
I might. I like the Marauder more because it's bigger.
Now now with the worlds, I've helped you make so much on that world.
You did. I mean, let's be honest. Both of our worlds kind of just became our worlds with how frequently we were going back and forth. Like I remember, there's this one really big build I made in your world, an Air Force base, like a full-on Air Force base.
And you,
this was before structure blocks too, and it's like I copied a whole bunch of hangars that I did that took me like 30 minutes to build each one.
You had placed like a sign in there because I remember I had based that area off of Rockfort Island from my least favorite Resident Evil game, which is kind of ironic because it's one of our favorite locations on my world.
There's a C-17 that I still haven't finished on that Air Force base too.
You just need to do the wings and then the interior, and that's it.
I think what ended up happening is I think I miscalculated when I was placing blocks from the tutorial, and I was off by one block. So because that happens in the helicarrier build, like that's why I've been giving up, because it's like with big builds like these.
And on those tutorials, and on those tutorials, if you're fucking one block off, it's fucked. The whole build is fucked.
And it's like sometimes it's hard to tell because it'll be like, okay, go 40 blocks, or like a very specific number, like 46 blocks out, and it's like, okay, now I gotta count.
If you're 45 blocks, then it's all fucked.
Right.
But the section of the helicarrier that you did get completed looked really good.
It did. But the thing is, I'm not creative enough in Minecraft to make the rest of that helicarrier.
But then again, the Serpentine, the version that I copied in the Nether that you mentioned earlier, it does look pretty good.
It's good, but it's way too damn big for that world. It takes up a lot of space.
It is way too damn big, and destroying it would take so fucking long.
Not necessarily, because I don't know if you remember this, but with structure blocks,
you can just delete it.
Right. But yeah, no. Honestly, Minecraft, we have a lot of fun memories.
And I remember when I first made the police station. In my
Resident Evil 3.
2. Well, it's technically in 2. It's not in 2 as much as it is in. No, it's technically in 3, but it's not in 3 as much as it is in 2.
Okay, because when we talk about it, you typically say from Resident Evil 3 the most.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it is.
It is because of the remake.
It's primarily from Resident Evil 2, and I have I made the first one by complete memory of the fact that I had played the remake of the second game several times. And when I had finished it, oh man, I was so proud of it. I had made a basement, I had made everything, and then I had downloaded, because this world, I think we had we had a bank there, we had a freaking news station there, we had a courthouse there, which we still have yet to put into my world, actually, now that I think about it.
The updated version, yeah.
Yeah. And we had the facility there too, and we had this mansion, and I built the fucking Burj Khalifa.
Oh, I forgot about the Burj Khalifa.
I had built the Burj Khalifa. I mean, granted, it's a very simplistic build, but it just takes forever.
What is nice is that Minecraft updated to where the build limit in terms of height
is like an extra
now.
100 blocks. So I could realistically make the Burj Khalifa like a whole lot bigger now.
Right.
And I had downloaded one mod on that world, and it corrupted the fuck out of that world, and I couldn't use it.
Yeah. It's like, but I mean, I like our updated version of that world.
Yeah, the saving grace was the fact that I had an earlier save from that world, but the downside was that we would have to start essentially from scratch.
But I mean, it's a good thing that we did, because then you got the updated police station, which was a lot
which
bigger,
was a whole lot
better.
bigger. The one complaint that Alex had, the one plain complaint that you had, is the fact that it felt really cramped.
It did feel really cramped. So like when you made the new one, I really like the fact that you made it bigger.
Especially with the library, you said the fact that
it felt underwhelming.
No, it's not that it felt underwhelming. It's just that you said it was just really tight and it was just really hard to move around. The new library, it's really open and stuff like that, and there's a lot of space to like walk around and shit.
Man, I'm just thinking, like, if I were to get a mod on my big Minecraft world, that would fucking suck if I were to ever lose that world.
Now, granted, I was able to put mods in my old world, and it worked fine. It's just that one particular mod fucked it all over.
Well, like, another thing that I'm considering is that, like, how cautious I have to be with different mods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because,
like,
yeah.
But you know, I think the best thing that you've made on my world so far, like the new one, is the harbor.
Oh, I forgot about the harbor. Well, okay, it's a tie between the harbor that I made and the Air Force Base. Essentially, the harbor was heavily inspired off of the GTA 5 harbor.
Oh, damn. Did you drop your phone or something?
Essentially, what happened was I remember how blue it was. So, like, that's why the harbor that I made was so blue.
Yeah, and I just remember like a lot of shipping containers, because we copied the hell out of those shipping containers.
I remember there was one specific we made for a corporation that's in our YouTube channel called the Lazarus Corporation, Lazarus Corp.
Yeah. And I had made a garage lot off of Mirror's Edge, a particular mission. I wanted to recreate the that area from Mirror's Edge, and as soon as I created it, I showed you, and I
was like, "What if we turn this into the Lazarus Building?"
I don't know whose idea it was. I think it was like an equal idea of both of us.
a lot of our big ideas ended up being like equal ideas.
Yeah,
like that we both like thought of, and I was like, yeah.
And I think we either have a huge chunk of that facility done, or we're done with it.
I think we still have a little bit more that needs to be done, like cosmetic wise.
But for the most part, it's done.
Yeah. For the most
part, the actual building stuff is done. We just need to like decorate the inside.
Right. But yeah, that is like a very recent thing that we did in Minecraft, though.
Remember the houses?
Oh yeah.
You and I both made our houses in Minecraft.
Right. And like I remember how trippy it felt being, because originally I was at the house at Fort Riley at the time, so it didn't feel as trippy when I was making my house. But when I did get back to like my actual house, it felt like trippy as hell to be in my house.
I think I felt the same way, because I had made my house. Now granted, I think I moved some things around in my room, so it's not like 100% up to date like how it is now.
For me, everything's basically the same, but I have a desk now.
Man, you also where you put your house in my world, you have a great view of the police station.
I do have it's literally right out my window. And what's funny is that
when we make our podcasts, I sit at my desk, and theoretically, if our actual houses were set up like Minecraft, I could see the police station right now.
Which is kind of funny. Oh man, remember Terry's?
Oh yeah, I remember Terry's was a store that you and I would bro out at.
Broing out, of course, is when we would just walk to a specified location.
Well, it
Or
started off with Sebastian.
it started okay.
Back at Fort Benning, him and I, we used to hang out all the time. We were neighbors.
We didn't. I don't think back then we necessarily called it broing out as much as
him and I did.
Oh, you and him did. Okay, got it.
Because like that was something that we did. Because remember, back then, you and I, we only really hung out at school.
Yeah.
But with Sebastian, he was literally my next door neighbor, and I tell Cassie some of the stories that him and I did, and now she gets very concerned if I ever say, "Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna go hang out with Sebastian someday."
hell, I would be concerned.
But like we did some really fun things. I think like one of my favorite experiences is when we had a shopping cart.
Oh Jesus, not the shopping cart.
The shopping cart. That'll probably be a story for another time. But the shopping cart was definitely a really fun thing that happened. But anyway, so like with broing out, we would walk down to this gas station that was near our neighborhoods. And we would just get some snacks, get some drinks, and we would hang out at a basketball court or something. We always hung out at a basketball court outside of our neighborhood. That was kind of our thing. Mainly because his girlfriend at the time lived next to that court. So I think that's why we hung out at that court. But even after they broke up, we still hung out there.
And then you and me just walked to a tiny convenience store, and oh man, I remember it was like middle of summer, and
summer of 2019. And in fact, in my Instagram, I say we don't talk about the summer of 2019.
But I remember what had happened was I think I walked there in pajama pants.
You, me, and Sebastian were all going to. We weren't going to Terry's at the time, which we should have. Terry's was closer, but we didn't know that at the time. We walked to another gas station that was like a 30-minute, maybe hour-long walk.
I mean, but it did give us time to talk as bros.
It did. We did have some pretty deep conversations, which we really got into those deep conversations too.
Yeah, like it got deep real fucking.
But like, to be fair, that's kind of something that always happened between me and Sebastian. So that was kind of just something we took you on the ride for too.
Pretty much.
But
yeah.
What was kind of funny is when we got to the gas station, we forgot the money. So I had to call up my stepdad and be like, "Hey, can you grab us the money that's in my basketball shorts?"
But on the plus side, he also drove us back.
He did drive us back. Actually, no. I think we walked back, didn't we?
No, we walked. I think the only reason you might have think that we walked back because it just took us so damn long to get there.
Yeah, which I think we were following Sebastian's lead getting to the gas station because I don't remember where that gas station was.
Yeah, I don't even remember where the hell it was either. I think we were just like walking until we found something, maybe?
No, because we took a very specific route. You know what? Maybe I was leading us to where we were supposed to go. But I do remember my stepdad telling us, like, hey, there's an easier way getting there, right? And he showed us that way. But he also made us realize... Yeah, he showed us Terry's, which Terry's became a very iconic spot in your Minecraft world.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know we originally had plans to talk about like different gaming experiences, but at this point we could probably just do a full hour on Minecraft.
Probably could. I mean that is very very true. I think I have a couple more things to talk about.
Our survival. We did.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we have many.
We don't have many tales about our survival world, but I do remember very recently in our Minecraft days, we wanted to experiment with survival, so we kind of just started going off of that.
I had wanted to put on the Star Wars texture pack. I don't know if you were entirely against it. It does.
I wasn't for it all the way.
I mean, I know you would prefer. I think we eventually started playing on like the natural, not the natural, but like the modern natural texture pack, like so everything looks more HD.
Right. And I
And that
remember
was
the creepers looked creepy as fuck too.
yeah, because they gave them extra long legs like spiders.
I remember we were struggling so much with creepers in our area, so we had to
There
make
were
that wall around
so
our house.
many. There were so many fucking creepers.
But
It was
like,
like
thing is, we were in a oak forest.
we were
That's
in a
like
snow. We were in a snow biome.
no, it was just snowing all over the map.
It really did feel like it. No, it wasn't snowing all over the map, but it was snowing for quite a long time. I think
It was because we had a high altitude,
we
but
took a
it was also in a forest, and that's where creepers always preside.
we took a boat because like traveling on ice with a boat is like super zooming fast. But I remember we went for a very long time before we got to an area where it didn't snow at all.
Yeah, and I think if we load back into the survival world, I think that's where we are now. Because I think we made a secondary home away from home, which is far as fuck too.
Yeah, and I remember. I think the only thing I really remember is that you ironically fell down a hole and died while chasing after a fox.
Yeah.
Pretty damn ironic.
And then I got spawned super far away, and it took me forever to
You
find
spawned.
you again.
I think you spawned back at the house.
No, because anytime I died, I wouldn't even spawn back at the house. I don't know why, but for a while, it took me a while to actually have the house be my spawning point. Because
Oh
this
no, you
was
spawned at the world spawn.
right, which I think because like we couldn't change where the world spawn was without affecting the survival world. Because the idea was with the survival world, we would get our achievements.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we got to do again.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so anytime we would be in the survival world, we were still like in the beginning stages of it, so we were just getting our house started up. So it took us a while to actually get our beds into a house because we had to find all the materials to get the beds. And
It was hard.
I mean, thankfully, we were in an area where there were a lot of sheep, and we were also in an area where there were a lot of wolves. So now we have like 3 dogs at the house.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that was good. That was fun.
I do recall in our creative worlds, I had 2 dogs, Lucky and Nibba, and together they would say Lucky Nibba.
It's
And
pretty. I mean, because of the profanity filter on Minecraft.
yeah. Anyway, no, okay, it's gotten really bad recently though, to where like your thing would get banned.
If the thing that the entire thing would say you're like if you spelled the word night, it would ban it because it contained the letters NIG
In that specific order.
in that specific order.
But yeah, so I had Lucky, Nibba, and then they had puppies.
I don't remember you. I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember the biohazard texture pack that I had?
Kind of. We never used it that much.
We never used it only because for you to download and join instead of just buying the pack, for you to download and join would take like an eternity. So we just never had it on.
Mm.
But
oh yeah, because
it was a like 300 megabyte now normal
like
texture
a
normal
thing
texture
is like
packs
I
are like
didn't
what?
have a lot of different texture packs that you had, so I would always have to do the download and join thing. So this
I
way,
think
them.
the only one that you bought was the city one, and that's because that was like the primary pack I had on my normal world.
Which in my normal world, I don't even use an extra texture pack. I just use the normal textures in the world.
I just have had city on for so long that it would just look weird if I didn't have it on.
Yeah. Plus, when you're building, we build with city texture packs, so it's like nothing would look right if it
wasn't
normal.
on.
Like, but like that's how I am with like using a texture pack in my normal world because I use regular textures. So when I use a texture pack, I would have to like change things up to make it look good with the texture pack. But then if I go back to normal, it's like, yeah, now it doesn't look good anymore.
But the thing is with the biohazard texture pack is that certain mobs look absolutely terrifying in the biohazard pack.
Yeah.
Like the warden. I don't know if you remember how the warden looked in the Biohazard texture pack.
I remember it was creepy as fuck. I do
It was
recall in the city texture pack, I think it was, the warden got turned into a robot. Or was that the
yeah.
Iron Golem?
No, the Iron Golem was just an Iron Golem, but he was wearing a suit.
Right. I remember I would put Iron Golems in the lobby of the Elementals Tower because then they look like security guards.
And what? No, you had a different pack where they turned into security guards.
It was the modern texture pack.
Yeah, the city one they just have suits on.
And then there was the ultra modern texture pack, but that one didn't really look as good.
Yeah.
I mean, some things did look better, but I think I like the regular modern texture pack.
Dude, you know what I just remembered?
What?
Freaking Samus's ship from Metroid Prime 3.
Oh, yeah, that was a very recent thing that you did. And the thing is, you didn't use a tutorial. You just made it, and it looked so great.
Yeah, I used just pictures.
I remember we made not only an in-flight version, a landed version, but I also made a sub version, like one that's underwater.
Well, it was also easier because by then we had already known about structure blocks.
Right. That's like going back to like the airbase. Like, I wish I had structure blocks for that. Or like even how we started making roads in that map. Like, I feel like now what we should do is basically make specific road-like pieces and then copy them and then paste them into the ground.
Yeah, kind of like how Disney Infinity used to do it.
Right, because the way we do it now is we dig out the space, copy it, or no, not copy. We would dig out the space and we would put in the sidewalk blocks and the street blocks, and it became tedious after a while.
It did. I also just think that if we're gonna start like a new city world, just building it above ground is like really helpful.
I did start that at one point, but I never stayed with it.
I also have another city world that we just never went back to.
You're talking about the Raccoon City world?
No, that one got corrupted. I'm talking about the city mashup pack, I think it was called.
Oh,
that was.
I think the issue with that one was that it was just so big, it felt overwhelming.
That was the map where we came up with Dr. Poison.
Oh yeah, are you sure that wasn't my city world? Because
No.
I also had an extra city world that I bought.
No, because I remember it was specifically in a movie theater, and neither of our maps have a movie theater in it.
Right. What was funny though is that it took us a total of 15 minutes to make Dr. Poison, because all that happened is we were role playing in Minecraft and we just said a name. And then we were like, what if we make this an actual Broverse character? So in 15 minutes, we made a real name for him, background, and abilities and other things that he had.
And what's funny is that he eventually became the twist villain of Slaying the Elemental, because originally it was just going to be a copycat killer of the Raven. But
right.
Now that Dr. Poison was a character, I wanted it to be like the Raven was revealed to be like a robot the whole time.
Yeah, honestly, Minecraft has inspired a lot of things for us to do, and it's crazy how that game alone has like impacted our friendship in general, like so much. In
That's
fact,
honestly crazy.
You know, when you and I record our podcast, you know, I sign into a secondary account, and my secondary account's logo is my Minecraft character.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of Minecraft characters, freaking Lieutenant Dan.
Yes, I love Lieutenant Dan.
He's a character, and he's got the beanie, he's got the vest, and he's got the robotic legs.
I think something you might have forgotten about is the time where I recreated Lieutenant Dan.
And I created your character too. And
Perfectly.
And we have characters. We have both of our characters show up, and we just had a screenshot of both of our characters.
Right. Well, because there's something I wanted to do, which maybe we could do this tonight. Maybe we could do it tomorrow. Well, no, we could do it tonight if you're up for it.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to take screenshots of all of our different characters and put them together into a poster.
Yeah, like Money Grandpa.
Right. Oh, yeah. So there was like a rewards thing going on with Minecraft, and I remember you got some of the rewards that were like a money character related thing, and then you did buy a few things too. I recall.
I bought the beard that he has because there just having a face didn't look right, so I wanted him to have a beard, and the beard had like rings in it and shit.
Didn't I? Aren't I the one who started the name Money Grandpa?
No, I did. Because it was a play on the Money Grandma joke from Teen Titans Go.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, but I chose Money Grandpa because he's made of money and he's got a beard.
And he's a grandpa.
Yeah.
Whose grandpa? I have no. We'll say he's Lieutenant Dan's grandpa.
And then there's that recent thing I just did, the Lieutenant Dan's fried chicken, the big ass restaurant that I have in front of the police station.
Oh yeah. I think. Oh yeah, I remember there was something I started doing recently too, like map art. So this way we could have like very specific things within our world, like a TV. Which that one took me a while because what I ended up doing was in my actual bedroom. You know, I have my TV mounted onto my wall. So what I did is I went off of our city area and I made sure that it was lined up with like where the maps would start and end. And it took 6 maps to make that TV.
The only reason that you didn't use the one that came with the city texture pack, like the painting, is because I think you said it was too big, right? Or too small.
It was way too big.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I would have used it, but it was too big.
One modded map that if modding somehow comes back to Minecraft and it's just like super easy, one map that I want to download again is the security breach map.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we already have a good enough version of security breach because we made.
No, we did not compared to that. Not compared to that.
Yeah. In comparison, yeah, that one is a lot better. But I do like the one that we made too.
Maybe because that dude took 8 months to make that map.
I mean, hey, we also had that extra friend of ours join us too.
Yeah,
Mr. Spears.
And he's a big fan. I think the only area I got close to the actual game was the daycare center.
I think at some points we did just start doing whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
and we had to tell him too, like, yeah, honestly, at this point we're just doing whatever.
But if I could download that map again in a heartbeat, I would, because that map was just so cool.
Yeah, it was.
I thought you said you didn't like it.
I think the only issue I had was that it was just very slow to load up.
And the thing is that the elevators wouldn't exactly like work like how they're supposed to. But and granted, they're not technically elevators. Technically, they're just doors with like a fun jingle between it, so it gives the illusion of elevators.
Yeah, you know what I just remembered? I think this was in my world. I wanted to make everything feel more connected because, you know, all my builds were super spaced out for whatever reason. So what I ended up, I think I know why. It was because of the villages that I found. I connected those via railway. So now what I'm doing is I'm actually building a highway
that connects everything. And the only reason your map is as big as it is because I created something that I used to do a lot in my old Minecraft was just create a Minecraft, like a minecart system that just goes in like a straight line and just occasionally turns left and right.
Which the one you made didn't turn, technically. It turned when it got into the bunker, and that was it.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a village that was like right there. And then from that village, I found another village, another one, and I connected all of those with minecarts. And then I had an entire city.
Pretty much, yeah. I think there is a way to download Minecraft maps now, but I've just been kind of a little lazy to download it. I could just play Security Breach if I really wanted to, but I've always wanted I just always liked the idea of exploring that entire map without any like consequence, like dying or something.
Like that's what's so nice about the Minecraft ones, though. It has more. Plus, it has more of a charm to it.
Yeah, and I think the only texture pack that looked good with that one was the plastic texture pack. The rest of them just didn't look good.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's gonna about wrap it up for this video or podcast, I should say. Tune in next time where Elijah and I talk about other various gaming experiences we've had on different games.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for tuning in. And bros are bros for life. We will
Stay frosty out there.